Hello everyone and welcome back to another week with Tala Creative TV. With everyone on national lockdown in South Africa because of the COVID-19 virus, I am going to teach you how to do a mixed media art therapy project. I am going to do this page in my art journal, but you are welcome to use any substrate, canvas, board, or anything that you want to work on. I love working in my journal and I like to express myself through my artworks and create it as a keepsake for my grandchildren. I turned an old art book into a journal, and this piece by Juan Miro is an abstract piece that kind of reminds me of this nasty virus that is affecting us so much. So I'm going to work over it and I'm going to create a beautiful artwork to inspire me. And then in this magazine, I found a lovely quote that I'm going to insert into this mixed media piece. Okay, so I'm also going to look for some pictures or things with words or colors that I would like to use on my background, and I'm just going to page through this magazine to find a few things that I like. Okay, so I'm going to use acrylic gel medium, and I've got this pile of just bits and pieces, scrapbooking paper and art pieces that I'm going to collage down, and I'm really not going to think about this process or what I want to achieve at the end. I'm just going to relax, tear the pages, paste it down, and just try to not think about anything and just enjoy the whole process. I'm going to speed up everything to reduce the size of this video because of the slow internet. You are welcome to pause it and continue with your process. Okay, so this is what my finished page looked like. I just pasted a lot of pieces of paper over each other. I didn't think about the process. I didn't even think about the colors. I'm just drying it now so that I can continue working over it. Okay, so I'm going to use my Terra palette paper, and I'm going to use a neutral color, and I'm going to put some on the palette, and I'm going to use a brayer and just cover over my pieces of paper to make it a bit cohesive and to prepare my background for the work that I want to do over it. Okay, and if you don't have a brayer, you can also use a discarded credit card or anything that, like a piece of really thick cardstock that you can use to scrape with. Okay, so now I'm beginning to think of my color scheme and what I want to do. And I'm just picking up some of the yellow in one of the pieces of paper that I collaged down, and I'm just using my hand and just trying to get all these pieces more cohesive and together with some craft paint. Okay, I'm mixing some brown craft paint, and I have this texture stencil that kind of reminds me of bricks. And I'm just going to stencil this pattern onto the paper because this piece is very intuitive for me, and it feels like I'm constrained and we inside our houses. We can go outside, but we stuck indoors, and I just want to do a bit of these patterns as a representation of being stuck inside and behind walls. One of my favorite techniques is to use alcohol ink and drip it over the page. I use Dala's acrylic ink, and I mix it at a 50-50 ratio with rubbing alcohol, and I make my own inks. So I'm just going to pick up the page and let some of it run down on the page to create patterns and texture onto my background. Okay, so I'm going to stencil this butterfly onto the background because for me, butterflies are always a promise of new beginnings and hope. And I'm just going to take a neutral color and just stencil it to get kind of like a shadowed effect onto the background. Okay, I'm also mixing this bright yellow and using the stencil that I always use to create the sun into my mixed media pieces. I'm going to just stencil this over the page. I've mixed the yellow paint with some texture paste just to create some texture on my background. Okay, I'm now ready to collage down the beautiful quote that I found in the magazine, and I'm just doing that with some gel medium, and I'm just pasting it down in the left corner because I want to add some more elements to my page. Okay, so I've got this piece of paper with all these beautiful butterflies, and I'm just going to cut out one of them and collage it down on my page. With a black pencil, I'm just going to highlight and trace around my butterflies to make them stand out a bit and to put the focus on this new life and this new beginning. Okay, so I'm taking a water brush, and I'm just activating this pencil so that it creates a beautiful black line and kind of like shadowy effect around my butterflies. With a black oil pastel, I'm just going to frame my page. I'm going to rub it in with my finger to create a grunge effect and just to frame it and make it look pretty. Okay, so there we have it, a beautiful therapeutic process through mixed media to help us relax and forget a bit about what is going on in the world and just to remind us of how precious life is.